I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check. I got the message on me, ain't no flexing on me, my attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on blessings for me, my successes only made them envious, they got upset. I had to put all their egos in check. I want the money, the power, respect, and I heard you know so-and-so, you not a threat, cause I really know so-and-so, they like my family, so they go pretend that they cool till they bust at your motherfucking chest. I'm getting gutter, my flow been like butter, my check in the bank, they see the number. All of my haters feel one of two ways, really upset or they show some respect. I can't even think about it, I've been up, so read about it, no beat around it, straight to it, no ring around it. You coming for me, we'll see about it, we'll never see it when I get my feet up. 100 meters where I run the fee up, and go from Ching and I'm on a Pia. I had to re-up on a reel, so you stay the feeder, and put it back into the bit, cause I don't really need it. I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check. I got the message on me, ain't no flexing on me, my attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on blessings for me, my successes only made them envious, they got upset. I had to put all their egos in check. I had to put all their egos in check. You're not entitled to anything else. I get 10 years of this under my belt. Your art is an art, they don't feel it, and nobody hears it. Initiative stay on the shelf. Your ego done got in the way. It gotta die today. It gotta go. You should be happy I lighten the load. The weight of your arrogance, heavy as stone. I make an appearance, they already know. That chip on your shoulder gon' crumble and fold, yeah. It's not a secret that you have been fearing the shit that I'm on. So you back to the brag and the boast. But I'm in a class of my own. I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check.
Well, I'm not even 100% sure if this thing is live. Apparently, Eddie and our guest is stuck in limbo. I don't even know if we're simultaneously streaming or something. I'm not even 100% sure if that's even physically possible. I have to now jump over to the channel and find out. So I see we're live. Live. Is it just me live? Yeah, it's just me. All right. Huh. All right. Well, Eddie, if you're watching, log all the way out of Restream. I have to send you a link. That's probably why it's not letting me send you a link, because you're logged in. I'm logged in. It's one big shit show apparently right now. So that's the only thing I can gather. There we go. Now that he's logged out, I can send him the link and get this stream situated. That's sort of stupid. Restream. That's really stupid. Anyways, I'm off the fucking wagon. So we're just, we're gonna fucking drink. We're gonna drink tonight because that's what you do the night before Thanksgiving. You drink. Chris, I am sending you a new link. Try that link. See if that link lets you join the stream. There it is. I see Eddie's here. So.
Yo, what's up?
So
that was pretty funny. You're like, where are you? I'm like, I'm here, and I'm talking to the other guy.
Yeah.
I think we can't be logged in together simultaneously.
We can't be logged together simultaneously. So it's whoever gets there first is you know what I mean? As soon as I hit live, it locked you guys out. So that sucks. Like with StreamYards, I could be logged in and Paul could be logged in, and there's Chris right there. We'll get to that in just a second. All righty. Let's go ahead and greet the chat. Let's do this because I feel like maybe I'm a rookie streaming because I haven't streamed in a little bit. But
it was because I did so well holding it down that
oh yeah, is that what it is?
Let me kick you out right now. Hold on. Let me press the button.
No, fuck you. What are you drinking, Ed?
This is Blue Label.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Blue Label.
Oh, bougie. Very bougie. Very bougie. I am drinking a Tampa brewery called Cigar City Highlight.
Oh, Cigar City. I like cigars.
Yeah, Cigar City. It's pretty good. It's not too terrible, not too bad. So, all right, let's go ahead, jump in the chat. We got New England journalist. We got 808 State, Jesus Chavez. We've got B-Man FPB, Bob Casey Ariel, Maddie's Drone World, Capturing D Magic. I see Capture Life connecting Stevie in the house. 808. Thanks for the 808 super chat. Happy Thanksgiving, he says. Javier, Phantom Fly 101, Jake's Drone Life, 4 States Aerial Photography, Ray Kelly, DMT, and Adrian Lesner. How is it? He asks. It is delicious. I think Cigar City. Ala is amazing beer. Anyway, so I got a special guest tonight. I am gonna bring him in. It is none other, and you guys know him. He fixes everything. He leaves nothing unfixed. Master of repair. Sorcerer of Hubson. Is that what we call him? I don't know. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time on the channel, I present to you QC Guy.
And I break shit too.
Do you break stuff?
Oh, I do. I break my own stuff.
Well, hey, I mean that's par for the course. Chris, good to have you on the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having
coming
me.
on such a short notice. So I thought tonight we would chat a little bit about Autel. Eddie was laughing last night because he said, well, what are we talking about tomorrow? And I said, well, we're talking about Autel. And he says, it's like you ping pong back and forth. And that is partially true. But I think there is a lot of disappointment with Autel right now. I think that's a fair assessment, right?
Yeah.
This is the fourth. This would be the fourth release that they haven't been able to deliver in a timely fashion. Chris, what do you think of that, man?
I've got huge reservations now. Like I look for the red flags, and Autel's a company that I trust. You know, with something like this coming out, I was very excited. I was going to jump on it the minute it came available. But the way they released it originally was a little bit goofy. The different dates changing was a big red flag to me.
Yeah.
You know, people putting up the pre-orders, Autel saying take them down. With the new recent price hike, and the one I was most interested in is the light. These are all red flags for me. So I'm really disappointed, and I'm a little bit left in confusion, and I'm going to proceed with caution on it for sure.
You know, it makes me cautious because obviously here's a company that has struggled release after release after release. They've downsized the company a little bit. They just had sort of a washout with their previous CEO. It's been promise after promise, and it sort of seems at times they're ran like a Kickstarter because they show the product never ships when it's due, and by the time they are shipping it, companies have already caught up, and in most cases have passed Autel to where the product's not even relevant at that point. It's not even relevant. Like, is it even relevant right now? Like when you look at what's out, I mean, granted, we're in a different price tier. I mean, it's going to be a hard push for a lot of people to even consider the Evo Nano or even the Lite.
Yeah. What is the light at now? The price increase.
Eddie, what's the Lite at now? Last
Like
time we checked,
it's over 1,500 now, I think.
I think that's insane. That's insane. This chip shortage.
$14.49.
$14.49. Eddie, would you pay that for that?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I personally would not pay $14.49 for the Lite. What about the Nano? What's the price on the Nano right now?
Nano, if you get the premium, that's up to $950.
Base model is $649.
That's insane though. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't offer, it's not anything special. It's not anything special at this point. And the problem I have with Autel is they don't really refine things. They just sort of regurgitate the same shit that they had in the previous drone, and then they just put it into a smaller package or something with a little bit less capability. The Lite doesn't shoot 10-bit either, does it?
That was rumor that it didn't.
That's a rumor. I don't know if it does or doesn't, but I don't think it does, man. Which that would be a bummer. That would be a bummer. It's just too much. It's just too much. But all of these drones, as of recent, are very expensive. Very expensive. You look at the Mavic, right? I mean, I think that's the cream of the crop when it comes to price hikes. We go from $14.99 of the Mavic 2 Pro to now $21.95 of the Mavic 3. It's not even a pro pro tier, but that's that's what we're calling it. I mean, that's pretty expensive. And then you want to go up from that, you go to the Cine, which is even more expensive. I know it's a difference between what, 2 years, 3 years, but I think it's just gotten to be insane.
Yeah, and I wonder if part of that has to do with, all companies over in China,
Right.
feeling a little bit of the pinch of COVID, hiking prices up, chip shortage, obviously. I don't know if that's being used as an excuse a little bit too much for some things, but that seems to always be the number one thing you hear is chip shortage, chip shortage. But my whole thing is it's just COVID purchases with drones right now. I'm just proceeding everything with caution because I'm sorry, I don't care who the company really is in China. I don't really trust a lot of them, and Autel's kind of one of them with some of the sketchy stuff. So
Yeah, yeah, and they have they have an interesting business model because they lead this perception that they're this American based company, and they have an amazing support team, amazing team here. But the problem is that team is tied by everybody over in you know China, which sort of sucks. And that's the common thing. It's just like these companies, they will put an American front together, but to build, like, you get that confidence, right? You get those warm and fuzzies. They're an American company, but then you scratch the surface. It's like a lottery ticket. You keep scratching, and all of a sudden you're like, oh fuck, they're not an American company. Surprise.
yeah, they kind of found a little loophole there
Yeah.
to make it. I mean, because so many people think, this is an American-based company. It's American Drone. What is it?
Right.
Washington, they're in state of Washington.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, it's just a little loophole they found, and I mean, it works. It definitely works
It does
because
work.
so
I mean, they're definitely doing that. It sort of sucks that they are doing that. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily fairness, but yeah, I don't see the new projection is the Mavic, or I say the Evos are supposed to be launched mid-December. Now, here's the problem I have right now is we're seeing all these pre-order emails come out right now from all these pari-mutuel companies. You got Autel Pilots, and you have all these companies overseas saying, hey, we're going to be fulfilling your pre-order on November 26th. There's been no public announcement from Autel at this point. Nothing like concrete anyways, which sort of sucks.
that's what I was going to say as you started talking about it. I've not heard one thing from Autel on that, as far as, I mean, not that they're calling me, but I mean, as far as on their website or, anything direct from them other than
Yeah.
little leaks from our typical sources.
Yeah, I mean they should change the slogan of their company to just maybe someday. I mean, maybe someday. Maybe someday, it's not, every company has to have a slogan, and I think Autel should be maybe someday. And the problem is that they don't learn from their past mistakes. Don't launch it until you're ready. Don't launch it until you're ready to launch it. Like, don't launch it until you're ready to ship even. I think that's where it's easy to commend like DJI in that instance, because here they are, a company who knew that the Mavic series was going to, even at the high price, was going to warrant a tremendous demand, right? It's a tremendous demand. And they were able to fulfill all those orders without instance. And here's a further insult to Autel. You have a company like, let's say, Hubsan, right? Hubsan, like bottom of the barrel, like they're just trying to scrape like their way into having a name, right? I'm pretty sure they don't have a pot to piss in, a window to throw it through in most instances as far as marketing or reputation. But here they are able to deliver a drone that they haven't even announced. You're like, they haven't even announced a drone and they're delivering it. It's like arriving on your doorstep tomorrow and they're like, oh, hey, here's this new Hubsan Pro 2654 or whatever the freaking, it's like, I can't keep up with it. It's like Pokemon cards with Hubsan. It's ridiculous. But I mean, I think that they have to fix that. They have to fix that. People are talking about they want to see a Mavic 3 or Autel Evo 3. Let's just get the shit they announced delivered first. Mm-hmm. I think that would be impressive.
What do you think? Because I've had people kind of argue this with me. Where the Evo Lite series, where do you think the competition is there
I mean,
the market is there. I've been saying Air 2S,
you
but
know, it would be an Air 2S competitor, but what's the price on the Air 2S, Eddie? It's $749 for the base version or $799 for Air 2S.
it's $799, I think.
I just saw it for $9.99 Fly More package.
Okay, so for a Fly More package, it's $999. And the light, just for the light itself, is that with extra batteries? Is that for $1449 or is that just a drone?
The premium is like a Fly More bundle for them.
For what's
Yeah.
the price on that?
Was $9.49, right?
No, for Autels?
For the light, it's $1549.
Oh,
$1549 for the bundle?
Yeah, they call it premium.
Right. What's their standalone for that?
11.49.
Okay, yeah. So even for $11.49 for just a drone, that doesn't compete blow for blow with the Air 2S. I want to know what like I know weed is legal in Seattle. I want to know what are they smoking up there that they think that this is good business. Like you can't compete like that. Nobody like, you know, like I'll say it like this. Like if you're trying to sell a product, right? You're trying to sell a product, you have to make that product affordable so somebody understands the brand, right? You want to get brand awareness. Not any. If you walk up to somebody on the street and you say, and that doesn't know drones, and say, "What drone are you going to buy?" Chances are, I would say 9 out of 10 times they blurt out DJI. Yep. Right? They're not going to blurt out Autel because Autel they don't have that brand recognition, right? They don't have that brand recognition, and because they don't have that recognition, they can't demand premium prices like that. I mean, they can, but they're not going to get them. They're not going to get them.
That's why I was asking you, like, what you thought it was in the market with, who it competed with, because that's where I think they're really shooting themselves in the foot by having this price increase, having these delays and everything. Anybody that was on the fence, they've already run to Air 2S, in my opinion.
So anyway, it says, didn't Autel state themselves they're not in the market to compete against DJI? They did say that. They did say that at one time. But all the people that said that no longer work for the company. They don't work for the company. They don't work for the company anymore. So everybody who made those statements don't work for the company. Yeah. So it's all irrelevant at this point. But I mean, if you're going to produce products, you have to be competitive at some point, right? You got to be competitive because you don't have a product that's good enough to compete with your closest competitor. Like if you're a company like Skydio, for instance, I don't think you have to compete with anybody because nobody's brought anything else to the market that can do what the Skydio does, right? So you don't have anybody in that tier. DJI, right. I mean, they got a couple of people in the tier, but not close enough.
Which is why we're not seeing a new Skydio every 6 months either.
Exactly.
They're very safe.
I'm very quiet when it comes to Autel because my personal opinion, I've never been interested in an Autel drone. I never even flown one. I've had the opportunity with people here locally that have said, "Hey, Eddie, you want to try this?" And I have never even tried to fly it.
If you think about Autel's sort of like the AMD of drones, right? Like they're the AMD, and if you want to compare DJI to something, DJI would be like the Intel of drones. I mean, that's one way to look at it. I mean, sometimes people like it, some people. Some people don't. I mean, I just think that they're letting the people, the loyal people that will buy their brand, they're letting them down, right? They're showing that they can't maintain consistency at this point. Now, if the product was never actually intended for release other than China, I could understand that, and maybe we got wind of it and we're like, oh, we want it, but it was never actually intended. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's silly at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, at this point, I mean, there's probably going to be another product in the horizon. I mean, Mavic 3 launched right this year, and then they sort of set themselves up for a better Mavic or Mini 3, if that should ever happen next year, because that seems to be like how DJI does. They repeat the same cycle over and over. So it'll be Mini 3, and then it'll go, Air 3 or Air 3H or whatever they want to add at the end of it. I don't know what they're going to call it. But they'll incrementally keep improving on the drones that are selling best for them. And then maybe we'll get some prosumer drones mixed in there as well, like some refreshes. I can see the Mavic 3 getting a complete pro package. There's definitely some room for improvement on the Mavic 3, though. Eddie, you got a chance to fly yours much?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not at all, actually.
So I've been flying it throughout the past couple of days, actually 2 of them. So I had the first version. I had the one that I crashed, and that was, we ended up getting it. We ended up making it right. We fixed it. And then I have the Mavic 3 Cine now. And today, flying this thing, it was the most frustrating experience I've ever had. Matter of fact, I was on the phone with Chris, and I was telling him, I said, dude, I'm like trying to get this line up the shot. I had to land it, calibrate the gimbal, take back off because the horizon wouldn't level. Like the horizon just would not level. And I was thinking to myself, I had to pinch myself. I'm like, what am I flying? Is this the Evo? Is this the Evo? I'm like, what's going on here? So that was really annoying. So I really hope that there's some firmware updates that can rectify that as soon as possible.
Yeah, and like we were talking about when you were flying, that's such a common factor today. These horizon issues on drones, that's something that Femi invented, and now everybody's copying, and that's pretty disappointing because every drone you purchase, that's one major thing you have to keep in the back of your head is this going to be an issue, because some of them don't resolve it.
No, and that's the thing. I don't think and the problem is, here's the problem when it comes to DJI and these things. If not enough of us say something about it, like we all just sit there and drink the Kool-Aid and say, hey, this thing's amazing, nothing gets fixed, because then they don't know there's a problem. They don't know there's a problem. Because if you're if you're silently talking about it, or you're talking about it in groups, or communicating with support, I guarantee you nothing gets done. The way problems get solved in the world today is you make a big public fuss about shit, and all of a sudden, magically, they're like, oh shit, people are they're aware of this. Let's make this go away. Let's figure out what the problem is. Remember, like when the Evo 1 came out, that was like a big ordeal. Like there was this massive horizon tilt, and Autel never really fully fixed it. They came close, but they never fully fixed it. But with the Mavic 3, I just almost don't feel like that is acceptable for the price. Like I get that there are things that are not complete with the 3, but I also don't think it's acceptable that I'm trying to see. I'm going to try to pull up some footage here too. I was actually editing a video that I'm working on for a client, and I had to take the shot a couple of times. I had to land it, come back in, land it. It's driving me nuts. Which I don't think that's acceptable. What? Say it again.
Have you seen a difference flying I know like flight time and flight aerodynamics is going to be the same, but in terms of video quality, Cine and just base model, have you seen a difference or not yet?
I'm going to be completely real with you. I see zero difference as far as quality goes. I mean, if you're really looking close, like you're really, really pixel peeping, and you're like, really like analyzing things, scrutinizing things. I mean, I guess, yeah, sure. You can maybe see a difference. I mean, it's going to be super, super minute.
I know you've been really busy with yours, Ken. You've been putting out a lot of content, but have you been kind of trying to keep up with, everybody else, all the well-known people that typically do DJI?
I try not to a certain extent, just because like I don't want it to skew my thoughts. But I'll show you right here. So here's an instance. So here I am. I'm taking off, and watch. Just watch this. This was shot in ProRes 4K 60 frames per second, and I'm not moving very fast. I'm just getting ready to start doing a parallax here. And I want you to start noticing the horizon. This is not me being aggressive. And I'm not making, an issue out of nothing. I just feel like, all right, right there. You see it?
Yep.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. What the freak, man? Look at that. That's bad. That's bad. I'm not going fast. This is playing at full speed, mind you. I was in
you
cine
just
mode.
went into fixed wing mode here.
I mean, look at that shit. That's bad. That's fucking bad.
Did you calibrate the gimbal?
So I'm glad you asked that, Eddie. I actually landed. So I landed and I decided, all right, well, let me try that shot again. So here I am here. So after a calibration, yeah, it's better. You can see I'm actually pulling up with the gimbal. Like, so I'm going up and I'm also parallaxing. So, and it was better there. That was after a calibration. But every time I took off, I had to calibrate the gimbal. Every time I took off, I had to calibrate that gimbal. There is another shot. I want to say, I think it's this shot here. It does it here too. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me see. Yeah, right here. Look at this.
Yeah.
So I just landed. This is a whole different shot. I stopped and landed. This is not like I have to fix this now in post. Like it sort of levels itself out here, but it loses itself. Like what the fuck, DJI? Like look at that. Like so there's definitely like, and what's weird is on the other unit, the one that I crashed, I wasn't having this problem. And this is me. And I'm telling you, when I say I'm moving slow, this is full speed. This is full speed. And it's like,
wow.
Like, could you imagine if you had that shit in sport mode? Like, could you imagine? Like and I calibrate the gimbal every single time. So that's sort of what I dealt with today, that I don't even know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if it's the unit. I don't know if firmware is going to help it. My thought is it can't be the unit, right? Like it can't be, because other people are having similar issues. Buddy Ron of mine sent me photos today. He asked me, "Hey, does this horizon look tilted?" He was doing like some photos. He sends me this, and you can clearly see in his smart controller the horizon's cocked sideways. So, or the Pro controller. So it's one of those things where I think it's a widespread issue, and I don't think enough of people are saying something about it. So that needs to be fixed. Like above everything, they need to fix that.
That's terrible.
I would be pissed. Eddie, and I'm going to be curious when you start flying yours and you start making parallaxing movements, will you notice the horizon tilt? I don't know.
It's definitely something I'm going to look for more on other people as well, just to see if that is a common thing.
I mean, it's yeah.
I mean, if it's happened to a few other people that you're aware of, then it's safe to say it's going to be a common thing.
So,
but I mean, it can be one of those deals too, where that's where some of these drones, it's like this one has this problem. This guy gets the perfect one built on
right, exactly,
this day of the week, which I hate that too, because that's where you get what I always say, the roll of the dice.
It gets all these issues just makes the Mavic Air 2S just more and more popular, or more and more like best bang for your buck.
And that's the thing, is like when I fly the Air 2S, I'm like, this drone is great. I don't have any sort of problems with it. And it's like, it's even better now that I have the unlock on it, because I don't have to deal with all the nanny crap from the geofencing. So, but I was thinking about it today. I almost said, you know what? Let me bring the Air 2S, because I know what it's capable of doing. Because I noticed this yesterday as I was flying the Mavic 3. I was just having this problem. Like, man, this is really annoying the shit out of me. Like, if I have to calibrate a gimbal every time I take off, that is so counterintuitive. It should just be able to keep itself level, and it can't. So I don't know. I'm almost half tempted to try another unit and see what would happen. The other thing is, so I shot those clips in ProRes. I will tell you, never ever again will I ever shoot in ProRes on the Cine. It's not worth it.
Why?
So those clips are like 20 to 30 seconds a piece. So I had 26 clips, about 30 seconds a piece. So 26 clips, 30 seconds a piece. How many gigs do you think that was, Eddie?
I want to say 80 gigs.
135 gigs.
Yeah.
135 gigs. And my problem is you have to leave the unit turned on
Yes.
to transfer those files. And a couple of times, at least using my Windows PC, it kept disconnecting. Now, in the manual, it says that it should be connected via Thunderbolt cable, but not every PC. Like if you built your PC custom, a lot of those motherboards don't have a Thunderbolt cable. And if they do, they're not easily accessible unless you have like some sort of thing. But even still, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Whose bright idea was it to put a 1 terabyte SSD in these things and not make it removable?
Yeah. Well, they should have made it removable, or they should have made it in a way that when you plug it into PC, it powers on like the board just to access the SSD without a
Yeah.
battery.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand. I really don't understand.
That was my big debacle between buying the Cine versus Fly More. But you know, I've already said this on the stream many times. I really, really wanted that RC Pro. I mean, I wanted this drone so bad. It's been sitting. It's literally sitting here in the corner for over a week. I haven't even flown it yet.
Yeah. I mean, here's my thing. I don't think it's worth it. Like I'm flat out. Like I shot everything I shot when I was in Hawaii, 10-bit, 420 H.265. 10-bit 422 or 420 H.265. When I look at the footage, it looks great, right? It looks great. It was easy to edit. I didn't struggle at all editing the files. I mean, I had different issues with the MacBook, not related to footage, but they were fine, and you can't tell. Like you can't tell. Now they're this is where like I also feel like there's some issues because the D-Log profile it's very hard to expose D-Log.
Yeah, and it doesn't
Hard.
have the preview.
Right. You don't have a preview lot, so that makes exposing it makes exposing for things even harder. Like why is that not there, right? Why is that not there? But I tried the DJI conversion lot and it's just it looks like crap. Looks like crap. And I reading all the groups, I'm like, all right, maybe it's just me. So I asked. And everybody else like, yeah, no, it looks like crap. I had another friend of mine. He's like, dude, he goes, look at these 2 clips. He goes, there's like, I'm adding so much back to it just to get the color back. I didn't have to do this with the Mavic 2 Pro. So he showed me a clip, D-Log MLUT from DJI, drops it on the footage, and it looks pretty good. Like, yeah, you can make it look better, but it's almost at a really good starting point. Drops the conversion lot that's made for the Mavic 3 on top of the D-Log footage, and it just looks like blah. And the blues, the yellows, and the reds are just all screwed up. So I don't know. Really annoyed. Really annoyed.
There's a whole lot of firmware fix going on here.
There's got to be firmware. And you know what? And I'm only saying this today because if I'm going to be hard on X Dynamics for bringing what they did out to the table for $3,600, if I'm going to be blunt and hard on them, I have to be equally as hard on DJI, because for DJI, they don't get a pass. They don't get a pass. And I'll tell you why they don't get a pass. They've been doing this so long. They have so much in research and development. They have the team, they have the people, the backing to do things correctly. So there shouldn't be any excuses. I just want to know, did they send it out to, make those holiday sales and it just wasn't 100% ready? Or, are they, or is it, there's something better as far as firmware coming later on down the road? That's what I want to know, really, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the answer, but it's just really obnoxious.
My worry with things like this, if I would have had purchased this, my big thing would be the things that they can't fix in firmware, where they make these little hidden hardware changes that are inside that nobody knows about, that all of a sudden problems resolved, but the early buyers, these firmware updates and stuff aren't working because they don't have these little hidden fixes. And this happens with all drone manufacturers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, we need to add this in there and change this, and you don't know about it, and unless you work on them and tear them down, and that's when you actually see these things.
Yeah. Moss Photography says he loves his Mavic 3, but he shoots mainly stills. Now, I will say when I was doing a house today, and I used it for the first time doing like photos, and when I brought the raw files back to edit, I was like, wow, these look really good. They are really sharp. So from a photography perspective, I don't have any problems from a photography perspective. I think the images look great. But if I had to stack those same images up against the Air 2S, and as soon as I do my conversion and make them to where they can be compliant for MLS, the difference is negligible. So it's like, if I still had to recommend a camera or a drone to anybody, it'd still be the Air 2S 100%. 100%. I don't know. I feel, again, some of these complaints are me being me, but I think that's how products get better. Is like, if you just tell them it's perfect, well, you're lying, because it's not perfect. It can always be better. And it's not like a knock against DJI. I'm not trashing on them by any means, because I'm going to fly it still every day, but it's just, I think it could be better. I think it just could be better. So we'll have to see.
The one thing that I am seeing a lot from people voicing their opinion is just the fly up. And I think the Air 2S and the Air 2, right, we're used to the fly up.
Right.
But it seems like with the Mavic 3, no one wants that application.
Well, I think I think with the fly app, the reason why people are bitching about it is because they look at the Mavic line, like the Mavic 2 Pro, and they look at the Mavic, like the main Mavic, as a Pro Series drone, right? They look at it as a prosumer product. And when you think of prosumer and you look at the Go app and you've seen like all the things that the Go app was capable of doing historically, that's the reason why. And for the longest time, if you remember, the Fly app was associated with the Mini, which was designed for beginners. And there was a lot of things that were stripped out of the Fly app. And there's still a lot of things that are stripped out of the Fly app. But the reality is, in order to true things up, to true up their lineup, to make it easier for their developers and make it easier for them, one application is going to be the one to rule them all, unfortunately. And that's just how it's going to be. I just, I know it sucks, but I mean, that's just how they're going to do it. I mean, I don't agree with it, but that's just how they're doing it, sucks.
Yeah. Now, one question for you, Ken, which is being asked multiple times in the chat, is now that I think you posted a picture with your RC Pro.
Yeah.
Are you seeing a difference with the RC Pro versus the regular controller? Signal strength, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the signal strength is good. I mean, I have a couple of complaints with the RC Pro. One, I don't like that they went to M2 gimbals, like for the sticks.
Yeah.
So they changed the size. They used to have M3 gimbal sticks, and they went to M2. I don't think, from a durability perspective, I don't think that was a good idea. I think you're going to see a lot of people break those. They're prone to break. Like if you look at the DJI FPV drone, I would read in the forums and in the Facebook groups, people would break those sticks. Chris, you know what I'm talking about? Those little the stick ends.
He's saying sticks, by the way, sticks.
I'm not saying dicks, Chris. I'm saying sticks. He was sitting there like,
I'm sitting back like, okay, where's this going?
Is he saying dicks? I'm like, no, six. It's a list, but I have a list. I have a fucking speech impediment, damn it.
You're going to break their dicks, okay?
Yeah, break their sticks. Right there. Stream is just off the rails. But
no,
yeah.
I'm just taking this in because I don't have one, so I'm taking it in.
You had the FPV drone though, yeah?
Yeah.
You get rid of it, or oh no? Is it?
No, I have it
on the wall. It's on the wall.
Yeah,
it's on the wall. It's got all the ornaments.
As far as the screw-in sticks?
Yeah, the screw-ins.
What's the difference that you're talking about though?
So it's M2. So if you look at the smart controller, well, actually, don't all the sticks come out, Eddie? Even on the main controller? Yeah. So if you look at any of the DJI controllers, like the Air 2S, the Air 2, the controller, when you take the sticks out and you look at the screw, it's a bigger screw, right?
Right.
the RC Pro uses a M2, which is a smaller screw set. So I mean, it's a little bit more fragile, essentially. I don't know. That's, I mean, again, me being
Okay, so
picky.
you were talking metric size. I thought you were talking
Yeah,
originally. I thought you were talking about the
metric.
actual the gimbal potentiometer. I thought you were talking about they changed it to a
Yeah.
different hardware, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to sit back and listen to this.
Hmm.
I didn't realize you were talking about the actual screw
Yeah,
thread
yeah.
size.
I'm talking about the actual thread size. They made the
Okay.
change. I think it's silly. As far as the transmission goes, I haven't had any problems. The first day I got the RC Pro, it asked me to do an update. I did the update. I did all the updates, and I think that the transmission coming back down to the RC Pro is really quite good. I like the frames per second. Um, the screen's as bright as it could be. I mean, it's a 1,000, and it's nothing special. Um, I still prefer using my triple tech just because of the size. Like, and I feel like everything's right there. And when I don't have that, that matte screen protector on my triple tech, I feel like it's just better. Like, especially for previewing log images, like I feel like I can see the details better in that. The RC Pro, it's good, but it's not like amazing. Like, I wouldn't say it's like I have to have the RC Pro. It's convenient. It's convenient, but it's not like, I don't think it wouldn't be my first choice. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's okay. They definitely made it faster. It's definitely a lot faster than the smart controller, which is good. Um, I don't know. I guess I'm more disappointed with the Cine version. I'm more disappointed with the Cine version. Go figure. Who would have
And
thunk it?
that's why I have an open mind, yeah, because the more I speak to you, the more I speak to Billy, you guys are convincing me to just stick to Fly more.
I mean, I don't, here's the thing. If you're just making YouTube content, and if you're just, you're just taking content like what we're doing, we're putting it out on social media, right? For the most part, it's streaming.
Mhm.
What happens to streaming content? It gets compressed, and they're going to hit it with their compression, which is just going to obliterate all that beautiful codec that you have. So for ProRes, while it can make life a little bit easier editing, I don't necessarily think it's not a game changer. It's not a game changer. I'd rather tell people, buy yourself a better computer, or at least upgrade the one you have. And not, then you don't have to worry about it, and you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about it. I don't know. I don't know. That's just very, very aggravating, to say the least. I've got some things to give away. We got some things to give away tonight, Eddie.
I usually win those, so now that I'm your co-host, do I
Yeah,
still
no,
participate?
you're not
Oh
allowed.
shit.
So I'm going to give away two of these things tonight. So Freewell has graciously sent me. They didn't tell me they were sending me these, so that's why I'm giving away. I hate when people send shit, and what they do is they expect a video. I'm
I was
not
just
going to
going
do
to
it.
say, expected
I
to
hate
review.
I hate that. I hate that. I don't like pressure to review things. I read, like, if I buy something and then I review it, I feel like, okay, it's on my own terms. I can review this at my own leisure, and it's more fun that way. But when people send me things, I don't like that. Um,
Does the winner have to do the review as well? Does that go with the
no, that does
package?
not. So the winner could do whatever they want. They can retail these whatever they like. So these are a set of ND filters for the new Action 2. So if you have an Action 2 and you want a set of magnetic ND filters, these are them.
Nice.
We have a standard 4-pack, and then we have the Bright Day 4-pack, which is ND8, 16, 32, and 64. These are PLs. So these are a polarizing filter, and these are your standards. So, Eddie, how do you think we should give these away?
Let's ask a question.
Okay, you got a question?
I got to think about one.
All right. Well, you want to put it in the private chat? I mean, I can't read your mind, Eddie.
Let me see. I'm still thinking.
I've only been off a week.
That's a real good value giveaway there.
I've only been
Those are
away
cheap.
for a week, 1 week, and this
Want to
guy.
make it easy or hard?
Let's make the first one easy. The first one will be for the standard pack, and we'll make that one easy.
I just sent it.
Okay. All right, that's pretty easy. That's pretty easy. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll add a level of complexity.
Okay.
I'll add a level of complexity. They have to figure out the gender. because I know the gender, and they gotta tell me what we're naming it.
Oh, that's hard.
That's hard.
Ooh, yeah.
That's hard. All right, so here's the deal. First person. This is two parts. First person that could tell me what we're having. Are we having a boy or girl? And what we're naming it gets the bright day, or not the bright day, gets the standard ND filters. So what are we having? Boy or girl? And what are we naming the baby? That's a tough one. Now, people close to me may know this. Okay, so we got girl. So I'll give you the first one. It's a girl, but what's the name?
That's all I know.
What's the name?
That's a hard one. I don't even know the name. And I'm your Hispanic brother.
I know. You're my Pedro McKinnon. Maybe I did this too, just to sort of get new names, just to be like, did I make the right choice? I already have it in my mind, but I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's why. No, we're not naming it Dobo. Can only handle one of those. Good names. I will tell you. We'll make it a little easier. We'll give them a hint because they're way off.
Mavic.
The name will start with an N. Starts with an N. So we'll see if they get it from there. So Eddie, I'm watching. Starts with an N. E-Man says he hopes it's a girl. Yeah, it is a girl. Thank you, Ron. Such a nice guy.
Maybe next hint. Is it pretty common?
No, it's not really a common name. Ooh, close. Almost got one. Got close. Somebody got really sort of getting closer.
It's funny people are saying like drone related stuff like Nebula.
Yeah.
Nano.
Nano.
It is. Let's see. Watch it be somebody like not here in the States. I'll just punch myself. That always happens too. Like when you give away, you're like,
yeah,
let's have a giveaway. And they're like, we're in Jerusalem. Shipping's only $149. I said it starts with an N. Starts with an N. A lot of great names. Not close.
Naomi.
So should we give him another hint? Do we get?
Yeah,
all
we
right.
have to.
So it's something to do with astronomy. Let's see. Getting close. Takes a minute for it to spool. Oh, there it is. Magnetic interference. Got it. Nova. So, or I guess I could have said it could have been named after a car. So Nova is it? Magnetic interference gets the filters. So magnetic interference. What you need to do is shoot me a DM on Twitter, and or just drop me somewhere where I can reach you, or just shoot me a DM on Twitter, and then I'll get those filters out to you. So that's how we'll do it, dude.
Nice.
Where's
job.
Nova? Where's magnetic interference location?
That will be a good question. My luck, it's probably in the UK or something. Just like I said, never fails. Magnetic interference, you win. So make sure you reach out to me to claim your prize. However you want to do it. I'm pretty easy to find. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Magnetic, just drop your location. I'm just curious. Where are you in the world?
Magnetic interference, something. He's probably in like
Long Island.
Eddie. Oh, how about that? All right. Hey.
Same coast.
Eddie. Should I just send these to you, Eddie, and you can hand deliver and be like, here you go, brother.
Yeah.
Eddie can hand deliver those for you.
Yep.
So, all right. So I still got one more set of ND filters. We still got one more set of ND filters. These are a Bright Day pack of ND filters for the Action 2. But we're not going to ask a question for this, Eddie. We're not going to ask a question for this. We're just going to give these away. I'm going to select one person from the chat to give these to. Okay?
Cool.
So I think I know who I'm going to give this to. You know who I want to give these to? They gave me a really cool shirt when I was at Spin Up. They gave me this really cool shirt.
And they already have the camera, obviously. So
they already have the camera. You know, he's sort of feeling things out a little bit with the FPV world, but he's been somebody who's been very supportive from day one. So Fly Zone Drones.
Oh, Fly Zone Drones.
I knew it.
Fly Zone Drones, I'm going to send these out to you. So you already are on my friends list on Facebook. So shoot me a DM and send me your address so I can send these out to you, dude. So those are yours.
He just did a backflip right now because he was so excited about the arrival of the camera. I think it came yesterday or today.
Mike and Sergio are two great guys for Fly Zone.
Is it?
Michael and Sergio, yeah. He's gonna send you a message right now.
Who's that? Oh, Fly Zone?
Yeah, Fly Zone, yeah.
Bro,
Mike.
Hey, you remember Kurt there, Eddie?
Yeah.
Kurt, he had the Evo?
Yeah.
That's magnetic interference, man.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
We flew with them before. We flew with them when we were at the Teardrop. Remember the Teardrop?
Yeah.
We flew at Teardrop.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Small world.
I remember. I don't forget. I'm like an elephant. All right. So those are the filters, and maybe we'll have more filters next week after I do that. I will take a look at these, though. I do have filters for the Mavic 3. These are polarizing filters, but I think I want to look at these filters, though. I want to look at these because I want to see if they're really as good or on par with the others.
Now,
do you like the Freewell brand?
Like is subjective. Like is so subjective.
What about what the DJI includes? Are they good or are they like crap filters?
They're pretty good, right? They're pretty good filters. I mean, you know, for what they are, I mean, I think they're great filters. I mean, a filter is a filter, right? It's a piece of glass. Like the only time I ever worry about an ND filter is if it's a, variable ND filter, and sometimes you'll get color cast, right? You'll get like some strange color cast. That's the only time I ever really get concerned with filters. But otherwise, for me, a filter is a filter.
Except if it's a Peter McKinnon filter.
No, Eddie. Eddie, no.
Look at that.
No, Eddie. Yeah, if you want to pay a premium dollar for that, you can do that. What does it do for you?
It does. It makes breakfast. It makes my video better. It does everything. It upscales to 8K. What else?
Yeah, that price, it better give you a rub and tug.
I was gonna go in that direction.
Don't worry.
I expect a little more.
If you can think it, I'll say it. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I don't know, freaking Eddie, but
cool packaging. Look at
that's I bought that. Very expensive. I mean, I like Pete's content. Don't get me wrong. I love his content. I love the hustle. But I just thought those were very pricey, and they always had like a yellow cast to my footage.
Yeah, no, I have a cast. I can admit, especially if you're shooting wide, for sure.
Yeah. If you shoot wide, for sure. Well, guys, I think that's it for tonight. I want to thank everybody, all 138 of you, for joining us this evening. I want to thank our special guest, Chris, QC Guy. Be sure to go check out his channel, QC Guy. I'm sure if you search for it, you will find it. He's always putting out very detailed, robust videos, whether it be repairing something, fixing Hubson's drones, improving Hubson's drones, being sued by Hubson. You'll find it all on his channel. I'm pretty sure he's like public enemy number 1 over there.
Fixing as much as I can, not just Hubson anymore. Thank you.
He fixes all the things. So keep sending him your stuff because he needs it. He knows all the stuff to fix in the world. Chris, tell me a little bit before we go though. I want to talk about this lamp though. Behind
my
me.
501 there.
Yeah. That's a pretty darn cool lamp, dude.
That's gonna I think that might end up going into an auction.
Yeah.
It is a really cool lamp. It's got to see it in person, it's really cool.
I have a feeling the camera's not doing
very
it justice.
Low light. What's that?
I have a feeling the camera's not doing it justice.
No, it's not, and I can't pull it over, unfortunately. But it's going to be replaced by an Evo 2 lamp.
Really?
It'll have camera and all. So it's going to be It's gonna be an
Totally.
expensive. It'll be a gutted version. I've been working on a
Okay.
lot of Evo 2s lately, so I
Okay.
have
What's your
frames, I have body parts and everything, so that's what's gonna
what's
be
the
next.
most common repair on an Evo 2?
It's always crashes for the most part, so it's 1 to 2 leg repairs at a time on one quad, and definitely top or both bottom shell.
Nice.
Um, the biggest thing with an Evo 2 that people just don't realize when they say, "Oh, I've crashed it. I've ordered all the parts. I sent it to you. I'll send it to you." And I'll always warn them, your chances are you're going to have a bent frame. Those frames bend so easily at the arm joints. And generally you need a frame. So I always keep a frame on hand, and because that's always the one thing you can't see till you take it apart. But I've been getting a lot of Evo 2s lately, and it is more of just crashing. It's not anything defective in them whatsoever.
Gotcha.
Um, I have to say that because I was talking about it live on my channel one day, and I got a guy that was so offended, like I was down talking the Evos because I said I repair so many of them. I was
You
only
know,
saying that because I'm so known for repairing Hubsons. I just want people to know it's not all I do. I mean, I'll work on DJI. Anything that's broken, I'll work on it, and chances are I'll fix it.
Maddie, I was just joking. I'm not gonna give. If I had a Komodo, I wouldn't be giving it away. I wouldn't be giving it away. All right, so I dropped a link for QC Guys channel in the chat. There'll also be one once the stream is over. I'll go ahead and make sure I update everything as such. I'm trying to do better with that. I'm trying to make sure. So there'll be a link for his channel in the description below if you're not already subscribed to him. There's 11,000 people, so by the end of the stream, we need to see. You're almost at 12,000 though. Almost
I
at 12,000.
think.
Almost. So that'd be cool to see you get there like before end of the year, which I have no doubt that you will.
Yeah, people
Other
come visit. Come visit. Come.
come. There's a lot of content to consume, and that's the beautiful thing.
There's no filter on my channel either. So
Good. We need more. We need more of that. We need more of
yeah.
that. Like no filter. I like
And
that.
and nobody owns me with their products.
And that's always a good thing. I see that everybody's sharing the link, so I didn't even have to do it. People are sharing it for me. So
Thank you.
all right, guys. I will see you next week. Next week, Eddie.
Yep.
And I hope everybody, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, Eddie, you celebrate Thanksgiving?
Absolutely. Pernil, baby.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pernil.
I'm gonna do the turkey. I decided this year we're not cooking. We had a meal, like we ordered one of them from like a superstore or Publix or whatever. I'm not cooking. Screw that stuff.
That's the
Screw
best
that.
way to do it.
Somebody asked, are these the new GVM lights? These are not the GVM lights. These are Nanlite Pavo tubes. I don't recommend them, but if you want to spend fuck you money on lights, they're right up your alley. I don't recommend them though. I don't. They were sent to me. These are one of the few things, like sometimes you see something sent to you, you're like, ha, yes. But then you get it, you're like, I don't really want to review this anymore. I don't want to. I mean, it could look like it's sort of, if I hold my hand like this, it looks like I'm holding a lightsaber. If it's somebody back there moving.
That's what I was gonna say. They look like your lifesavers on
They
the
look
wall.
like lightsabers on the wall. So but there's that. All right. Be sure to drop a like on the stream. That is how I pay my rent. And I'm gonna go home and shut off the phone and all that stuff. So, guys, I will leave you with the outro that everybody hates. Nobody likes the outro anymore. They're like, "Why do you have to have rap?" Well, listen to the sound. Listen to the words. It'll make sense. Adios, Eddie.
Later.
Peace.
I'll just get out my head and focus on what I know's coming.
I just wanted to say that actually the outro is not the same as the intro. The intro makes more sense. Fuck, I fucked that all up. All right, stay original.
I'll just get out my head and focus on what I know's coming. Yeah. Cause I can't fall asleep at night without seeing my dreams. Delusion, reality, I'm somewhere in between. These voices in my head get loud.
Yeah, somehow I knew you would do that.
I'll just get out my head and focus on what I know's coming. Yeah. Cause I can't fall asleep at night without seeing my dreams. Delusion, reality, I'm somewhere in between. These voices in my head get loud and they keep telling me that I'm a fool for trusting in these wings. But maybe, baby, this what flying feels.
It's so good.
I'll just get out my head and focus on what I know's coming. Yeah. Cause I can't fall asleep at night without seeing my dreams. Delusion, reality, I'm somewhere in between. These voices in my head get loud and they keep telling me that I'm a fool for trusting in these wings. But maybe, baby, this will fly.